some people who may be good qualified political potentials are stymied
Absolutely.
by not only by themselves and also by their
Absolutely.
party, their own party.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely, it's corrupt. And it's corrupt in many insidious ways. There's no farm system to bring candidates up like there is in baseball, for example. There's no training
Great
program.
analogy. Great analogy.
There's nothing. There's nothing. There's no college system for like there is for basketball players before they go to the pros. There's no development system. There's no leadership training. It's intentionally that way. It's intentionally that way because the weaker you make the people, the more the stronger you make these autocrats in the middle, these self-appointed
that's a big statement,
leaders.
because that's liable to come back to haunt us in terms of information.
It's the way it is.
Well, I understand what you're saying there, but let's say what's that guy in Minnesota? That
Jesse Ventura.
Wrestler Jesse Ventura. Okay, there's a perfect example of what you're saying.
He took over.
Yeah, and he had what qualifications? Wrestling?
He turned out to be a good leader. And
Yes,
a pretty
it turned out well.
inspirational
I mean,
spokesman.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was of the people, though.
Well, okay, he was of the people, but
Yeah.
the point was that the training is not necessarily connected to the job at the end, is
He
it?
came in through the Green Party, I think it was, wasn't he? He came in through one of the
I think it
third
was
parties.
before the Green Party, I think.
And
remember.
he did a good job. Minnesota liked him.
Yeah, big time. He was very successful and still is. But if we don't consider to give the people the idea that there's possibility in change, then change won't occur. The system, you're telling me, doesn't really have that opportunity built within it.
Right. What we have to do is the voters have to get angry. They have to get involved. They have to realize there is an opportunity to petition in and become a candidate or have a family member or an acquaintance or your boss or somebody that works for you, somebody around you, become a candidate. Just jump in. Take a small group, get the petitions necessary, get them in. Don't allow it to be as it is. And we're seeing more and more things in the paper about different politicians and bureaucrats getting caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Every day we almost see it on the cover of the newspaper. And the term I created for it was, or borrowed for it I should say, is the kleptocracy. Ruled by kleptomaniacs, ruled by thieves, people that can't stop abusing the system. Having people, contractors, pay to play. And thereafter they get their contracts and there's kickbacks, or there's the pension ripoffs, or attorneys double and triple billing school districts. What we see every day.
There's a certain amount of inherent corruption
Yep.
in capitalism, and we're certainly a capitalistic society. But where the public domain lies at the feet of the political power, should that be where we also have them involved in the kleptocracy? As you say?
There is a difference between capitalism and corruption.
Of course.
Yeah, people
I
can
said
make
a certain
money.
amount of inherent is different than what it is.
Chasing money
yeah.
is not necessarily bad. We can do that in creative ways. We can
That's
invent
right.
things. We can make
Capitalism is a good thing. Don't
It's
get
a
me
great
wrong.
thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And a model. A great
And that's
model.
what makes us great.
Yeah, and the self-interest and the self-motivation.
But when it creeps into government, then we're talking about a different issue.
Well, we have a problem with government trying to build itself as an organization would build itself, as a private
Right,
organization
and that's
would
what it
build
looks
itself.
like.
But government is a dog we have to keep a tight leash on.
You betcha. I mean, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
The public out there sees the same thing. What do we do? In my opinion, a serious issue we have is in our school systems.
Right.
We don't advance information about politics. Civic education is minimal at
It
best.
doesn't benefit the status quo to have enlightened voters.
So then, should we go after the school system?
Well, there's a couple
the
of problems
unions
with
or
the
the
school
union chiefs or
systems.
curriculum people?
In Long Island, we have lots and lots of school boards. We really are proposing a transitional structure and a consolidation of the bureaucracy. New York City, for example, has one board of education, and they handle millions of people, millions of children in school. We want to start out with a board of professionals that will start to consolidate these tasks that are being replicated across the various school boards. Professional managers, attorneys with expertise in education law that can lend their services to many different jurisdictions, as opposed to having that expertise recreated in every separate school board in every separate town. So we want to share that expertise. We want to have professional educators that can consult to the various districts as opposed to recreating that talent in every individual district. We want to consolidate the number of superintendents.
It sounds like socialism, though, a little bit.
No, not really. It's just modeling after New York City with one board of education. We want to economize because the taxes are killing people. The taxes add pressure to where people don't care about politics.
But
we have
then
to drop that.
in New York City, we can get to back to the tax issue. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but the public school system in the city hasn't really developed a great reputation for advancing their students into the collegiate area, or for instance, even to graduate. The graduation level is at an all-time low.
Yeah, we have a problem in the state. I just did an analysis of Suffolk County performance, for example, and of the 100 top schools in the nation, Suffolk County has, top high schools in the nation, Suffolk County has 0 of them. But yet they pay among the highest taxes anywhere in the nation.
Well, bang for your buck. Where's that?
Well, the interesting thing is if you compare it to parochial schools, and I'm not saying that that's the answer, parochial schools necessarily, or private schools are wholly the answer, but parochial schools charge from $3,000 to $5,000 a year, and they do get some government service, some busing and some other government service. It's minimal, yes, but it's still $3,000 to $5,000 a year. If you do the division on the 4,600 kids, let's say in the Riverhead School District, by a $102 million budget, you get $22,000 per kid. Wow. So why does it cost from 5 to 7 times more to run them through public school? And then the standard I use, the test I use to see how well the schools are doing.
I like that test, fine.
Yeah, that's a test, right?
I mean, that sure is.
5 to 7 times. Now, here's the other statistic you want to know. Just basing on advanced placement exams. Now, not on the grades of advanced placement exams, just how many students will attempt advanced placement exams. Suffolk County is not even on the top 100 list. We don't even try. Those kids don't even try. So you have some schools in Arizona with 17 out of 100 kids attempting advanced placement exams, but then you have to go all the way into Nassau County to find. Wow. We're going to have to cut that out.
Let's continue on with a little bit of a shadow.
Yeah, we'll cut that out in post. So at any rate, we have. You have to go all the way to Nassau County to even find programs with 4 out of 100 students attempting advanced placement exams. So a fourfold improvement in quality in many other states. What is that? Why not New York? This was the Empire State. We used to be the largest state.
It just reminds me, the more government involved in something, the less apt that operation. I'm just so against government.
Not necessarily.
To me, well,
I'm not saying make more government. I'm just saying
I don't want to
necessarily.
point to you as the source as to what will change, but I'm just looking at how things are and how things have been in the school system. I don't see any change of any. They've been talking about change. Yes, it's been lowering. The standards have been. We keep dropping standards to make people qualify at a lower level. It does not advance us.
Well, let me give you one example. There are many, many structural problems in the schools. One of them is No Child Left Behind. No Child Left Behind. In practice, what has become of No Child Left Behind means put them in the next grade even though they're not ready for the work.
That's social promotion.
I don't know what it is, but
we've had that for 15, 20 years at least,
but
if not more.
It means put them in the next grade even though they're not ready for the work with the students that were ready for the work. So who does that teacher in the next grade teach to? The highest level, the middle level, the lower level? No. All those students are put together in another structural problem called inclusion. We include all the students together. We don't break out the students with special needs, whether at the top or at the bottom. We teach them all in one class. Now, in a class of 22 students approximately in the middle schools, how does a teacher have the time to deal with communicating with these gifted and the challenged at the same time and teach to the middle? And give any children any individual attention. It's too broad for one human to do as a teacher. It's not possible. So we wind up with this constant blame shifting. Do we blame the teachers? Do we blame the administrators? Do we blame the federal government? Do we blame the state government? No, stop that. Just look at the schools that achieve and follow their model. Well, the answer's out there.
So then, based on the examples you gave me before, I would say with the success record that parochial schools have had, that possibly looking at that framework might be a good way to include.
Well, that's a success on a cost basis, and that's for sure. That's for sure.
That's where the bulk of decisions are made, and budgetary constraints.
We have to look at the scores. I think most people wouldn't mind paying the taxes if they really got a high quality product out of the schools. If you got a private school level product, you'd be willing to pay the private school level cost.
No.
But we don't.
Yeah, I know.
We get it done both sides. We get shortchanged.
It seems like, when we judge politicians to create let's go back to politics for just a moment. When we judge the politics going away from schools, we should be looking at what they do, and we should be looking at what they did. Now, just